Hey y'all, it's the Slav here, and I'm back with the 4 p.m. turn completed for my Cool Spring playthrough. I'll just kind of go from one end of the line to the other here, show you what the battlefield situation is, general overview. The unit was able to get themselves into position, everybody on the left bank of the Shenandoah, should I say west bank of the Shenandoah. Ely's giant brigade still isn't quite in their positions, but they should get in there no problem. Those astute viewers of you will notice on the last video that I had Frost's brigade anchoring the left flank of the Union line right up against the Shenandoah. Once I started the Union this turn, I realized that I am going to be able to get everybody across, so I figured it'd be better to keep Frost's brigade as a division reserve, so they are all stacked here with Frost himself. The regiments aren't terribly strong, but I noticed they do all have a really good morale value of 7. So that should come in handy if I do need them to plug any holes here if this bridgehead starts to get breached. Did try to take advantage of extended lines to get all my strength points to bear in fire combat if I need it. I will note that I already know that we have a Union regiment here and here that do have their flanks in the air. As I was moving them around, didn't quite have enough movement points left to refuse the flanks. Think they'll probably be okay. And then you see here on the right flank, like I said, Ely isn't quite up into place, but they should finish off pretty well. The 5 p.m. Confederate reinforcements are going to come in from the northwest corner of the map. So they are the ones that are going to be hitting this area of the line. But I think, generally speaking, it looks like Thoburn probably does end up averaging better efficiency. So they might be able to get themselves situated in place. Did cost me that dreaded first level of fatigue for Wells and Ely to do all the moving they needed to get into place. I'm at fatigue okay. Don't think that's going to hurt the Union too bad. Although it doesn't look like they're going to have any possible situation where they're going to be able to recover, and they're certainly not going to be able to put in reserve mode. And I doubt that they're going to be able to avoid combat or anything else that's going to prevent fatigue recovery. So they probably have taken their first step on that march for fatigue. Again, I don't think it's going to hurt them too badly. For the Confederates, I initially had one regiment in reserve from each brigade, and then I figured there just aren't enough Confederate forces to get away with that, especially since none of these Confederate units are even large enough to, require extension to, get all of the strength points to bear. None of them are above 8 strength points, so each individual regiment can fire from its own hex. So I just kind of threw everybody in the line here. Now, I am aware that starting with this turn, the 5 p.m. turn coming up, Wharton is going to kind of really be a pain in the butt to get moving. He's got to make a roll to change orders or to accept attack orders. And the roll wasn't really at very good odds. So hopefully they're not going to be anchored in place here. I do realize in retrospect that probably putting them in this position wasn't a good idea. If they don't move, it's going to kind of plug up the center for my attack possibilities as a Confederate. Roads will be coming in on this side. They generally do look like they're going to be the better units to attack with. So hopefully they can hammer this area here. Maybe if I'm lucky to make those rolls to get Wharton to accept orders, I can kind of have them sidle on down to their right and start hitting from here. I did get the Union artillery into what I think is the decent place to fire from, considering that they can't move across the Shenandoah. They are stuck on that far bank of the river. Have managed to keep all of my leaders in the proper command distances on each side. That was really fun. As I made a reply in my comments, in the comments for the previous video, this does really appeal to the obsessive compulsive side of me, getting everybody marching perfectly in the right distances and, spreading out their lines and columns and so forth. But I don't know how I'm going to handle the chaos in the succeeding turns once units start taking casualties and retreating and holes getting punched. That might make it interesting. And on that note, just a caveat, I haven't said it in previous videos, but just because I've been playing these things for about 45 years doesn't mean I'm any good at them. So do not expect incredible generalship here. I make no claims to any kind of skill on the tactical, operational, or strategic levels. So for me, it's just going to be a matter of trying to get these rolls down, having the units go at it with each other, and seeing what happens. So if suboptimal play is your thing, then you are going to be in for a treat going forward here, especially on these following turns. That being said, there was one thing that I was going to mention on my previous video. I guess I'll throw it out now, although it doesn't seem like it's going to be much of an issue. And that is the stone walls. You've got this stone wall that runs along the river here by the fords. It's got a couple of walls that shoot off of it. I noted that in the terrain effects chart, it just has a +1 additional movement point cost on top of whatever terrain it's in. Reading the special rules in the battle book, it states that both sides get the benefit of that terrain advantage, no matter which side you enter from. I think I see what they were trying to do here. They wanted to avoid all kinds of complex wall advantage rules like you have in ASL, worrying about who gets in the hex first, so who's on the other side of the wall. So I see where they're coming from. My only question, and I haven't been playing it like this, I've been playing it strict according to what the rules in the chart say, but it does seem kind of odd to me if you've got like Young's, both regiments of, both battalions, I guess, of Young's regiment are here on these two wall hexes. If they continue to move in a straight line of hexes that are all connected by the same wall, I don't know why that should continue to cost them an additional movement point. Otherwise, I've got an image popping in my head, at least, of the regiment. Is it really bouncing back and forth across the wall as it moves along those hexes? Or would it just be moving along one side of that wall straight down that hex row, and then that's not going to cost it anything additional? Like I said, I've been playing it strictly according to the chart with the lack of any other, indications otherwise, errata, opinions, whatever. But if any of y'all want to weigh in on that matter in the comments, feel free to go ahead or provide any other comments that you want to. Also, continue to please mash that like button if you like this. Please tell your friends, share this, get other subscribers. It's growing a little bit at a time. I'm enjoying doing this. Looking forward to cranking out that 5 p.m. turn next. May take a little longer as units start firing. I may break it up into some additional videos within each turn just to kind of break out some interesting combats or questions I may have, things I want to throw out to my audience here. So please continue to stick around with me. I'm enjoying this and look forward to some video on that 5 p.m. turn coming shortly. So see y'all.